Welcome to episode 8 of Coffee with Kelsey. I'm so glad you're joining me today. This podcast is brought to you by ballroomdancecoach.com, 7-time award-winning instruction, helping dancers of all levels maximize their progress and express themselves on the dance floor. In today's episode of Coffee with Kelsey, we're going to be chatting about setting goals for 2024, and I have a very exciting and special announcement to make today. So hang in with me, let's set our goals, and I'll let you know what that secret is. Grab your coffee or your tea. I have my coffee on hand, and let's go ahead and get started. We are looking ahead to the new year and ready to start setting our goals for 2024. It's extremely exciting. It's a new year with new opportunities, and it can also feel very overwhelming to look and set those goals for those new year. How do we do it? I was looking at this for myself and saying, I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish in the next year. How can I plan this out in a way that's going to set me up for the most success moving forward? But if you're like most people, and I know I've been there, we've set goals in the past that just didn't work out. It says, actually, research shows that the average New Year's resolution barely lasts into the spring. I've seen people with only, and I know I've also been there, maybe 2 weeks into the new year. So you're probably asking yourself, just like I was, a very important question. How do I set goals for 2024 that I'll actually be able to accomplish? Here's the thing. I've thought a lot about this, done a lot of research, and here's the conclusion that I've come to. And I've got some good news, not only for myself, but for you as well. Setting high quality goals and absolutely crushing them is more than possible. Actually, it's well within yours and my grasp. All we need to do is keep a few important things in mind at the beginning of the process. I've found that making these changes have made all the difference in going after what I want, and I know will help you go after the things that you want as well. The first thing is to be specific. General things are not going to cut it. What do you want to achieve in this new year? Get down to the nitty gritty and be super, super specific. Goals like, I want to win that dance competition, or I want to win a dance competition, that's just not going to cut it. You have to get really specific. Which comp do you want? What do you need to get there? You have to ask yourself this question. What am I trying to accomplish here? Why do I want to make this goal happen? And also look for those roadblocks that can keep you from reaching that goal and make a plan to knock them out of the way. Number 2 is make the goals measurable. This goes hand in hand with making your goals specific. If a goal isn't measurable, then you have no way of knowing when you've accomplished it. A goal like, losing 20 pounds, that doesn't have a target attached to it. It doesn't have a clear finish line. You can also break your New Year's goals into bite-sized chunks. Give yourself daily, weekly, monthly steps to take. Focus on those, and when you've accomplished one, tackle the next one. A question to ask yourself is, how long will it take to reach my goal? How do I know when I've reached my goal? 3 is give your goals a time limit. It's important to set a time limit because you need a finish line. Take that goal of yours, create a plan, and break it down all the way into daily activities. Then give yourself a deadline. What's really helpful for this also is put it in your planner. However you schedule out your day, I really love calendar blocking. Plan everything out. Write it down or put it in your phone, and it'll help you manage your schedule. Do I have a deadline for reaching my goal? When will I hit the goal? And how many times will I achieve that same goal? Fourth, goals need to be yours. Let's be honest. Trying to go after someone else's goals for you never works out. Sure, your mom might want you to take night classes, switch careers, but it won't happen unless you want to do it. Why? Because working hard to win isn't for the faint of heart. It's tough. It requires a lot of work, and you won't have drive to stick to it while you're working towards a goal that you're not even passionate about. You have to think about, is this my goal? Or did someone else pick this goal for me? Did someone else set this for me? Number 5 is put your goals in writing. Something really special happens when you write down very specific goals. There's a reason for the saying, write the vision and make it plain. Get those goals down on paper along with all of the steps it takes for you to make them happen. I like to ask myself, do I know the steps that I need to reach my goal? Have I laid out a blueprint for how to get there? Maybe your goal is something much, much bigger. Maybe it's something that's going to take more than just 1 year to accomplish. And that's okay. That's amazing to have big goals that you have over a very long period of time. But what can you do in a smaller chunk this year that will get you closer to that big goal? What steps do you have to take? What is one portion of that goal? Maybe your goal is to actually get out on the competition floor this year. That's an amazing goal. But what steps do you have to take to do that? Well, obviously, you need to be taking your lessons, right? Very regularly, making a plan, set a specific date of what competition you want to go to, and what do you have to do to prep, to get ready, to get to that specific date for your first competition out on the floor. And that's something that you have to talk to your coach about, to your teachers, because they will know how to help you set that up. Because if your goal is to win the national championship this year, unless you are, it's possible. It's definitely possible. But that is probably going to be a goal that is going to be longer term. So you've got to get started. If this is something that is totally new to you, then you just have to go out there and be seen and take the steps necessary to get to that first stage. Okay, so you are probably thinking to yourself, okay, Kelsey, what's the big announcement? What are you going to tell us today? And, I have a massive, and I say absolutely exciting, intimidating, but mostly very exciting and massive goal for 2024. And, I've really wanted to go on this journey for quite some time, but this year it just feels right. This is the year that I really go for it, and I'm really excited. So in 2024, I want to bring a national top teacher award to Pittsburgh. And I want to do it as a lady teacher. Now, this is a massive, massive goal because the boys, all of the men, they absolutely rule this category. there are no women instructors who are bringing a top teacher award of this caliber. And especially here in Pittsburgh, no one has done it. So I want to do it. I want to bring a national top teacher recognition to Pittsburgh. I want to be first. And I know you in the City of Champions feel the same way. We have a fighting spirit that doesn't let up. We were born to rule this division of the ballroom world, and we will win. So if you'd like to join me, if your goal is to get on the competition floor this year, if you want to be on the competition floor competing along with me, and might I add, there are scholarships available for the amateur dancers that will be competing with me. So it's going to be very, very fun, very exciting. Go ahead and head over to ballroomdancecoach.com and fill out the form that says, I want in for the 2024 season, and let me know, and I will get back to you with all of the details. And also, it can be with lady dancers, male dancers. Kids are also welcome, and you do not have to be necessarily in Pittsburgh full-time or in Pittsburgh at all to join this. I have a lot of dancers who join me from out of state, either travel here or do Zoom classes with me, in a combination of things. So if this is something that interests you and you'd like to really go for a national title with me this year, let me know. I can't wait to start this journey. I'm super excited. I'm excited for myself. I'm also really excited for you and all of the dancers that will be joining me on this journey. Again, that website is ballroomdancecoach.com. I'm so excited I can't even talk. ballroomdancecoach.com, and fill out the form right at the top of the page, and I'll get all of those details over to you. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of Coffee with Kelsey, brought to you by ballroomdancecoach.com. Be sure to follow the podcast so you know when the next episode is released, and I'll see you next time.